Have you seen those sad faces that need to find a home? Little furry animals? Woof, woof. The new Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center is open and waiting for you. Find out next on Connecting Our Community. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Connecting Our Community. I'm Karen Allen. As you saw, a dog person, but also a cat person, and we'll see whatever else we're going to discuss, because joining us is Catherine Zenzano. She is the Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center Community Outreach Coordinator. Good God. Thank you so much, Catherine, for joining us.
Thanks for having
me. Now, that is a new facility,
it is.
First of all. We want to clarify what that new facility is, because there was already an adoption center, a rescue service, Humane Society. So what does that new facility mean to differentiate from the other one, and what do you do?
We do a lot of things. We are a county-operated facility, so that's the difference between us and the previous shelters. So we are under the Department of Police, civilian-run though. It's a new facility, large facility.
And gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely
it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It certainly is. Lots of great features that make it as comfortable as can be for the animals and for the staff and volunteers that are there caring for them. And yeah, we have field services division, so if if anyone has lost a pet or is looking to reclaim a pet, we have that over there. We have various different programs and services now all under one roof.
First of all, I want to say that I knew that you opened in 2014 on a Sunday on March 2nd. It was a pretty big deal.
Yes.
And I want to give the address out because it's at 7315 Muncaster Mill Road in Durwood, Maryland.
It is.
And I want to just say quickly, you're open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 12 to 7. You're closed on Wednesdays, Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 5. Just so everybody knows, because if you're looking to adopt, that's the place to go. Now, tell me how it works, the process of adoption.
Well, people can visit our website. They can also come to our facility in person and view the animals that we have available for adoption. As you mentioned, we have lots of different types of animals. We have dogs, cats, guinea pigs, rabbits, even parakeets, I believe, right now. So if they view online, they can actually print out an online application and bring it in with them, or of course they can do that when they come into the facility. People don't have to have a particular pet in mind when they come in. They are welcome to walk around the adoption areas and see all the animals that we have available for adoption.
I mean, online perusing, which is obviously the digital age, but back in my day when I adopted many,
Yes.
there was no online, and wow, you really needed to go there and visit with them and connect. Do you think that that is, granted, fast and easy, but is that the way to connect?
I think, it really depends on the person. I think some people will just see a picture of a particular animal that for whatever reason really resonates with them. I think other people aren't quite sure what they're looking for and are really reliant then on the help of the adoption counselors and volunteers who really are familiar with the animals, and they can kind of help them hone in on which animal would be a good fit for them.
Okay, as I suppose that, when you adopt something, or are any of these animals returnable? Because in previous life, you could kind of, if it didn't click, you could return them. So I guess if you pick something online and you go get it, you could return it.
Yes, I mean, the adoption process is thorough in a way that it really, the counselors are going through and talking about the animal's characteristics and if it's, a good match in terms of the family's expectations. We don't necessarily have a policy where, if it's not working out, it's not working out. But we are pretty good at giving advice and some protocols, whether it's from a manager or we have a certified trainer on staff who's really good at putting things together in terms of making the paperwork available for adopters so that they can read about how to introduce the new dog to the cat that's currently at home, or introducing the
young
dog to
child,
kids.
right?
Yes, exactly.
Because there's a lot of things that you would want to go through. Having them spayed and neutered, is that still a requirement?
Yes, they
Of
are spayed and
course.
neutered before they leave, and we do have an in-house vet suite with a full-time veterinarian and vet techs that are doing that on a pretty regular basis, performing
That would
those
be very
surgeries.
important. And do you know the background of the animal as much as possible? Because people, I mean, there are strays,
Yes.
and so it's hard to find out their background.
Yes, it definitely is. It definitely is. We do have a background form that if somebody is bringing in a pet that they can no longer take care of for whatever reason, they do fill that out, and it provides us with some information. For example, if the animal has lived with other animals, how they've done with kids, what are some of their, are there any medical needs that they have? And absolutely, if it's a stray animal, we are definitely more limited in our knowledge, but we certainly do observe the animal while they're in our care and evaluate them both medically and behaviorally to ensure that they are a good adoption
See if
candidate.
they need exercise, if they're jumpers.
Yes,
or,
most of them do.
Right. Or, for some people, the dogs are better.
Yes.
Older animals are better.
Absolutely.
Some people are better with cats,
Yes.
As long as I worked here, I was doing a lot of pet of the weeks, so I got to meet a lot of pets and
Right.
see the differences and see how great they are as pets, and took a few home myself, so I
Yeah.
could definitely see how some personality types were better for many
Absolutely.
different people. People are always concerned about returning pets and what happens to them if they stay too long. Do you have a population cap where you can no longer keep a certain amount, and then after that you have to put them down?
We do not. We don't necessarily have a certain amount of time that we hold on to an animal. I mean, really, our goal, of course, is to get them in
Of
and
course.
out as quickly as possible, because they can begin to deteriorate emotionally, even physically, if they're there for too long. So many
It's
different.
a tough
Yeah.
concept, but people kind of know that it's done, and it's
Yeah.
a tragic thing. And usually in the past, when you have smaller locations and the conditions were different, they would have to go down
Right,
faster. And it's
right.
such a tragedy when you know that an animal's going to be returned, it's not going to be adopted
Right.
again. You're sort of saying, sealing its fate. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to get that out there, that perhaps with this particular facility, it wasn't going to be as likely.
We certainly are lucky to have a large facility, because that does enable us to take a bit more time to figure out what is the best possible outcome for an animal, whether it's adoption, whether it is going to a breed-specific rescue, or whether it's
Exactly.
transferred to another facility. So it does give us a little wiggle room. But there certainly have been times where we have just been absolutely full of animals. But no, that has never been a reason, because we've been full or because we're running out of space, has been a reason for us to euthanize.
That's good. I think people are much more aware of adoption and rescue than they ever have in the past.
I hope
I
so.
wanted to know what the difference is between your place and the Humane Society.
Essentially, we are now operated by the county, whereas the Humane Society is their own. They are a separate entity. They are not-for-profit, whereas we, again, being under the Department of Police, we are county-funded, county-operated by civilians. So that's, again, and I would say that we have a good amount of services that we provide that the Humane Society used to provide. Now, they still do have a fair amount of programs as well. But really the big difference is that we are the one big open admissions shelter in Montgomery County.
It's not exactly competition then. You're side by side. You're on the same team.
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that is the case with every other rescue or shelter that is local to us. Absolutely.
Okay. Your funding, as you said, from the county, is from the county. And you said you had all kinds of animals. What is the basic number, your average number per day of all the animals you think you have?
That's really tough to say. It depends on the season. I know, one of our more challenging months, which was in spring, summer, I think we had something upwards of 450 animals in our care, and that includes dogs, that includes cats with litters of kittens, that includes all the small animals. Not necessarily all of those are going to be made available for adoption. Some will be returned to owner. Some are being held there for court cases and things like that. But it's really difficult to say what the average number is. I mean, it really could be anywhere from 100 to 500.
Oh, okay. All right, that gives me a range. If somebody walks in on Monday and says, "Oh, I like this little guy, this adorable, incredible, cute, terrier or whatever," how long before they can actually bring that little guy home?
It's really dependent on the family and the individual that's looking to adopt. If they are able to provide all the forms that they need to provide or the information that they need to provide, which really isn't a lot, they very well could take that animal home that very same day.
That is amazing. Is that more likely or less likely? I mean, that really, you can, the same day, because that never used to be either.
Yes, yeah.
You can really do.
Yeah.
Do you still do home and sort of inspections or whatever?
We do not. We do not do home visits.
No
We
more.
found that in the world of sheltering, that is kind of one of those things that can hinder the process and ultimately just harms the animals because it's making the process
Is that
very
right?
long. So we don't do that. We really just take the time that we would spend to do that to talk to the families and
So the
advise
interview.
them. Yes.
That is amazing.
The interview is vital. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. You all just take the next minute to tell me what volunteer and supply needs you guys have, because you do function a lot of volunteers. They
Yes.
walk the dogs, right?
Yes, we have volunteers there are several different volunteer positions. We have dog handlers, and those are the ones that are, yes, taking the dogs out, taking them for a walk on our walking trail that we have, even just sometimes taking them out in a play yard or sitting with them and interacting with them. We have cat handlers, which do the same thing but for cats essentially. They visit with them and we'll groom them and just pet them. We have so many cats that it can be really challenging for our volunteers to meet the needs in terms of socializing, but they really do what they can. And so we have the same for small animals as well. We have behavior assistants.
Meaning the rabbits, the guinea pigs.
The rabbits, the guinea pigs, the exotics. So we have, we've had snakes. We have a lot of red-eared slider turtles.
Wow.
So we get everything. Yes, and there's always a need for volunteer help because they really are critical to maintaining and improving the health and well-being of the animals that we have there, and and the staff too.
Of course. We will give websites and information on how you can help and what supplies are needed, and more information when we come back, so don't go anywhere. See you soon.
When you donate goods in response to an international disaster, it's expensive.
They have to cross the sea, pass through customs, be inspected, sorted, then finally delivered.
And often they arrive too late to help, making your good intentions feel a little empty.
There is a better way.
Cash donations are fast, simple, and allow professional relief workers to purchase supplies close at hand.
Cash is best. Learn more at CIDI.org.
It's our duty to serve veterans and military families who serve their country in the most difficult ways imaginable. Together, we can say thank you in so many ways. Small acts of kindness mean more than anything. With our support, veterans and military families can face even the most difficult challenges. Let's honor their service with ours.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Catherine Zenzano. Her title is long. Her job is important. She is the Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center Community Outreach Coordinator. Phew. Catherine, you're still with us, even after the title. Thank you very much. Okay, but you had a list of animals that you have, and I couldn't keep track of it because you said something about turtles. I got the dogs, I got the cats, rabbits, guinea pigs. Then you said turtles and exotics. Mm-hmm. Wow. Can you just go, what exotics do you have there? Don't get any ideas, people. Don't raise snakes. Am I right?
Snakes can be a great animal.
Never mind what I said.
For some people.
Go get
for
a
some
snake.
People.
Wait a minute. Okay, so what do you have back there? Snakes, turtles?
We have snakes, turtles. I know not too long ago we had, and this doesn't necessarily fall under the exotics category, but we've had ferrets. We've had a lot of different animals. We've had potbelly pigs come in. We've had
Wow.
We've had to take care of horses. We actually right now, we do have a little mini horse at our facility in the barn that we
okay.
have, which is a great setup.
That would be an extensive interview. Any exotic fish like eel? Anything that we could use for sushi?
We do.
Just kidding.
I could give you an answer for that.
That would be wrong.
But no, we couldn't adopt you if you were
Right.
going to eat it.
I
No.
know, and I wouldn't do that. Never,
No.
never.
Okay.
Okay, so the pet owners, what do you expect out of pet owners when you interview them, your counselors?
Well, of course, it's helpful for an owner to be really honest and forward with what their expectations are so that we can really make a good match for them. I should mention we do also have the we've been using the ASPCA's Meet Your Match program, which is a way to match up adopters with a potential pet. And what it does essentially is when adopters come in, they will take a survey and it asks questions about, what they're looking for in a pet. Are they looking for one that is really social and friendly? Are they looking for one that's a bit more reserved? And we're able to then kind of guide them in the right direction in terms of what pets may be a good match for them.
Because you have to be sure that when people come in, they're honest, because there's all kinds of breeders and they're not breeders, the puppy mill type
Yeah,
things.
there
and
certainly are people with bad
people that-
intentions. Most people, I think we've really come to learn that most people have good intentions and are
Yeah.
able to give really good homes to
That's good.
these pets.
That's very good. Okay, yeah. What else of the facility with the animal services do you do over there?
Under the Animal Services Division, as I mentioned, we have field service officers. So those are the ones that are actually out in Montgomery County. They are responding to calls when an animal is running loose, or if there is an aggressive animal, or for so many other various reasons. They are
Injured?
They are
or
out. Injured
lying
animals
by the side
as
of the
well.
road, run over by a car?
Yes. If it's deceased, no, they're not
No.
picking that up. But if
Right.
it is in need of help,
Injured.
they will pick it up.
So we should
Absolutely.
give that number. You can call 911 to report an animal emergency.
If it's an emergency, yes. But we also
Emergency.
do have the non-emergency line.
301-279-8000 to report an animal-related non-emergency.
Yes.
Right. Which means a loud barking dog? or-
Barking dogs, or even if there's an animal that you see that is a stray animal, assuming that it's not in any immediate danger, you would call that number.
Wow.
And all that information is on our website.
So if my dog's out loose with her cute little heart-shaped pink tag, which has my number on it,
Yes.
and okay, so they can actually call this number and she can get scooped up by you.
Yes. Now, if an officer came across her, though, first, they would more than likely get in touch with you and try to reunite you with her before she has to come to the shelter.
With a lengthy speech. Okay, right. I get that. Okay.
Okay.
No, it hasn't happened to me yet, but yeah, right. Okay, because she has a phone number on it. Right. Okay, I understand. But if something has happened, those are the numbers to
Yes.
call, and I'll give
Yes.
them again before the end of the show. Okay, I understand. All right. So we want to also talk about what happens during the year for different kinds of weather. Mm-hmm. For example, when the weather changes and it's cold,
Yeah.
what's not good for animals? What should people know?
Of course, it's actually kind of similar to hot weather, where you don't really, animals like to be comfortable. They like to be warm. They like to be, or I should say, maybe in an environment where the temperature is normal. So you don't want to leave them outside for any extended period of time. It's just overall not good for them.
Right.
You also, if you're taking them in the car, there are also always, you want to make sure that they're restrained properly in the car, but not leaving them in there where it's frigid and cold and they're going to be in there for a sustained amount of time. And then of course there are seasonal foods and plants like poinsettias, which are, a good example of something that you really want to be careful. Whether you have dogs or cats, you want to be cautious of having those things around during the holiday season.
What about snow chemicals and
Absolutely.
Antifreeze? and
Antifreeze,
snowmelt and
yes.
things like that?
Antifreeze is a big one. Also, even some of the salt that we put out can be harmful to their paws, but antifreeze, yes, that can absolutely be lethal. So you certainly don't want to let your pets get into that.
Ugh, yeah, that sounds like unlikely, but I guess
It happens.
That's
yeah.
really sad. Okay. All right, and some of your counselors, are they specially trained to do this types of thing?
Some have come to us with experience in working with animals before. Others, for them, it was a new experience, but they, before we opened, we had a lot of time to plan and to do training, and they've, you'd never know that they haven't been doing this for 10 years, because they're all very, very good with people and very good at explaining the process and talking about the animals and, again, ensuring that it's a right fit.
So many celebrities have done things for animals and made animals a huge source of information, of giving, of donating, of making it just a big talked about thing. Just a big, Ellen is a big doer for
Yes, she
animals,
is.
and it's just become huge because of all these people who are celebrities that have made it a big information subject. An ongoing thing. I think that can't hurt for animals.
No, it certainly can. It certainly can. I don't think as many people as there are now are going to their local animal shelters and opting to adopt an animal. I mean, there certainly are still people that have a preference for a certain particular breed of dog, which we certainly do get purebreds, but you're getting a lot of people more people these days that are coming in and that's their first option, and they would think to do nothing else than come in and adopt from a shelter.
It's just sometimes you see on talk shows where the host just brings up the dogs and cats that the guest owns.
Yep.
And it's usually because they've rescued them.
Yes.
So I just think that that movement has been brought out a lot.
Absolutely,
you must be thrilled with that.
I certainly am.
Yeah. Now, what is a wish list? Is that what you
A wish list
wish
is
for?
It's essentially they're items that we are in need of. Whether it's it's something, it can be anything from blankets this time of year. Really, throughout the year, our animals are always appreciative of big, plush, comfy blankets, hot dogs, treats for the dogs that they use when they're training them, different toys for the different types of animals. That is on our homepage, right? If you go to our website, you'll see that right at the bottom of that landing page.
Okay, so you have a wish list, and we didn't really talk about the supply needs that you need. We talked about volunteers, but speaking of wishes, what supplies do you need in general? Because I know that Girl Scout and Boy Scout
Yes.
packs and groups are always giving,
Yes.
getting together newspapers and other things, as my kids did when they were in Girl Scouts. Name some supplies that you really need.
Some items that we always need: newspapers, one of them, blankets as well. We go through a lot of chewy toys for the dog, or chewy treats for the dogs, because it's really good for them to have that every night and be able to kind of unwind with that. Cat toys are another thing that we seem to go through a lot of those. And again, it's all outlined on this wish list on our website, and it talks about, what are some items we may not be able to accept, what are items that we're always in need of, and every gift is certainly appreciated by staff, volunteers, and
It's
the
nice when
animals.
somebody just brings by a bunch of stuff.
Absolutely.
What a nice surprise that
Yes,
is.
yes.
I mean, that's really good.
Yes.
All right, so the top 3 supplies are blankets, newspapers, and chewy toys.
Yes.
The top 3.
Can I make it 4? Can we add hot
Of
dogs
course.
to that?
Tell us more.
Let's add hot dogs then.
Hot dogs?
Yes. Yeah.
Like real hot dogs.
real hot dogs,
Okay.
any brand.
Any brand. They don't have to be.
Dogs are not
They
discerning.
don't have
no.
to be authorized by God.
No, they do not.
International.
That would be
Love that commercial.
no need. No need.
Okay. All right. So first of all, we got to give your website, because that is, you've been talking about that website the
Yes.
entire time, and so for a lot of information, the supply list, the volunteer needs, I guess, right?
Yes, we do have. We'll be making our volunteer application live again in early of next year. We're still catching up, believe it or not, on the orientations
that's
or
probably
trainings.
an ongoing thing year round.
Yes.
So whenever you guys can log on to that, but more importantly, you can also look online. So MontgomeryCountyMD.gov/ASD. That's MontgomeryCountyMD.gov/ASD. You can also call the center at 240-773-5900. So 240-773-5900. Of course, you can always Google them, for heaven's sakes. And the new shelter again, 7315 Muncaster Mill Road, Dorwood, Maryland, 20855. The hours are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 7, closed Wednesday, and open Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 5. And again, to report an animal emergency, call 911, and you can call 301-279-8000 to report an animal-related non-emergency. So once again, 7315 Lancaster Mill Road. You got all this down, right? In Durwood, 20855. Call the center at 240-773-5900. I don't know if the graphics are keeping up with me, but that's the control room's problem. You guys are listening. Montgomery County, Maryland.gov/ASD. It's a fantastic place, beautiful, and with people like Catherine, you can't go wrong. So Catherine, I definitely want to thank you so much. I don't know how much time we have, but Catherine will help you. We got plenty of time. Catherine Zenzano, I'm going to say the title of her again, the Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center Community Outreach Coordinator. Wow. Ooh. That place opened in March of 2014, by the way. Phenomenally huge place, county funded, under the police, and will help you find the dog, the cat, the turtle, the guinea pig, maybe the potbelly pig if you're lucky, and maybe even a snake.
Or a rooster.
Rooster?
Roosters, lots of roosters.
Wow.
Those poor guys won't move, you know.
My goodness. All right. Also, you can contact us at Connecting Our Community, the blog at mymcmedia.org website. I should know that one by heart. mymcmedia.org. My goodness. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching once again. Go adopt a wonderful animal. My name is Karen Allen. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.